That's exactly what we're digging into today, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing a deep dive inspired by the behind-the-scenes, unsung heroes of TV shows exhibition from festival series Mania.
It's such a great concept for an exhibition because you really start to think about all those people.
Exactly. Think of this as, like, your all-access pass. We want to understand those diverse, often really surprising roles, the people crafting the shows we love.
Yeah, from the way a character looks to, well, the entire world they live in.
Mm.
It's truly fascinating when you consider the sheer number of specialized skills involved.
All these individuals pouring their talent, their dedication into these
And
shows.
so much of it just remains invisible to the audience, right?
Uh-huh.
You just see the finished product.
Absolutely. So, this deep dive, we're going to try and uncover some secrets of these, well, overlooked crafts. Reveal some surprising facts, maybe some memorable details about everything from costumes to creating whole fictional languages.
It definitely makes you watch TV differently afterwards.
Totally. Ready to see television in a whole new light then?
Let's do it. Where should we start? Costumes.
Yeah, let's start with costume design and maybe the insights of Valerie Ada.
Oh, great choice. Valerie Ada, her work on shows like The Bonfire of Destiny, Women at War, Winter Palace. Really impressive stuff.
And she sees costume as so much more than just clothes, doesn't she?
She does. It's like a new skin for the character. That's her phrase. And her approach is almost, well, physical, how she visualizes them.
It's not just about finding something that looks, period appropriate.
Not at all. She
Yeah.
has this incredibly detailed process, aging the clothes, distressing them.
To make them feel lived in, right?
Exactly. Authentically lived in.
Mm.
She's dyeing fabrics multiple times, adding specific wear marks, even like deforming pockets intentionally.
Wow. All to build that sense of history for the
Mm.
character.
hmm So when you see that character, their clothes are already telling you part of their story
Yeah.
before they even say a word.
That's fascinating, and she really gets into the psychology of it, too.
Yes, that's what's so insightful. She talks about the character Bible, that backstory, the personality profile, how crucial it is for her designs.
So the clothes become a tool for the actors then.
A vital tool, helping them embody the role, find those nuances, and ultimately it shapes how you, the viewer, perceive that character.
And her approach, it isn't just one size fits all, is it? She adapts.
Right. She talks about the difference between fiction and docudrama. For docudramas, there's this huge responsibility to historical accuracy.
Whereas with fiction, maybe a bit more interpretive freedom.
Exactly. More room to play with the period style, maybe emphasize certain things. Think about how different a gritty historical drama feels compared to, say, Bridgerton. Costume's a big part of that.
And TV versus theater, too, that's different again.
Oh, definitely. In television, the camera is so close. Every tiny detail, every stitch, every bit of wear and tear matters.
Whereas theater,
In theater, you've got distance. Costumes often need to be bolder, maybe slightly exaggerated just to read from the back row, convey the same information visually.
Ada's creative process sounds so visual. Mood boards.
Oh yeah, heavily reliant on mood boards. She pulls inspiration from everywhere. Internet, libraries, museums. She apparently has a huge personal library too.
And these details she includes, they can be incredibly meaningful, like that corset.
Ah, the hand-painted one for Audrey Fleurot in Women at War with the caged bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a powerful symbol, right? Confinement, but the door's slightly open.
A hint of hope, exactly.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes, but subtly. So when you notice those little details, they're almost always deliberate choices packed with meaning.
Like the pregnant woman's corset in the same show.
The fact that it had visible seams wasn't just about being historically accurate for the period.
It said something about the characters.
Yeah, about their resourcefulness during wartime. Mending, making do, repurposing things.
Even using a hoop skirt for an older character in the Bonfire of Destiny, even if they're maybe going out of fashion then.
It was a conscious choice, yeah, to highlight the customs associated with age and status at that time.
And on set, that whole HMC process, hair, makeup, costume, sounds like a well-oiled machine.
Oh, it has to be. Everything aligned with the designer's vision before the cameras roll.
And the exhibition also had that ESMO challenge section, right? Fashion students reinterpreting period costumes.
Yeah, that was really cool. Taking looks from Bridgerton, Peaky Blinders, Mad Men, and giving them a contemporary spin.
It's a great way to see how historical design keeps influencing modern fashion. We saw that Empire dress inspiring a Bridgerton look.
And a widow's dress informing a modern take for transatlantic. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How fashion just constantly recycles and reinterprets the past.
Totally. Okay, so from what characters wear, let's shift gears. What about what they eat?
Food styling. and the amazing artistry of Janice Poon.
Janice Poon. Right. Hannibal Foundation, Star Trek, Discovery. Visually stunning shows.
She's a true visionary. And what's interesting is her background is really diverse. Advertising, interior design.
So she brings that really keen visual eye to food on screen.
Absolutely. So when you see a plate of food that looks almost too perfect, or maybe perfectly unsettling, chances are Janice Poon was involved.
And it's not just about making it look good, is it? For her, it connects to character.
Deeply connected. She sees it as a way to help actors get into character through how they interact with the food, even if they're not actually meant to eat it.
Like how someone might pick at a meal versus, devour it.
Exactly. That's often informed by how the food is presented. And her process is meticulous. She has this 8-step approach for every dish.
8 steps. Wow. Starts with the script.
Yeah, a close read. Understanding the scene's mood, the character's motivations, even if the script just says they eat dinner, she's thinking, what food would be most compelling visually, thematically?
That behind-the-scenes story about the silky soup for Hannibal is just incredible.
That's legendary, isn't it? The email exchange with Brian Fuller. Crafting this soup that's medicinal but also deeply unsettling.
It shows how even something seemingly mundane, like soup, can become this key element of the show's whole atmosphere.
And the depth of her research there is fascinating. She looked into the actual medicinal properties of silky chicken in Chinese tradition.
And then figured out how to make it look, well, cinematic and disturbing.
Exactly. And she's constantly adapting, too. Actors' dietary restrictions.
Right, that must be a challenge.
Huge challenge. But she still manages to make everything on the table look authentic. And remarkably, it's always technically consumable.
Even the really grotesque stuff on Hannibal.
Technically edible, though maybe not advisable.
Huh. And collaboration is key for her.
Totally central. She presents detailed sketches to props, to the director, encourages that creative back and forth, make sure the food serves the scene's overall vision.
And like Valeriata, she's a big researcher.
Passionate researcher. Books, stores, libraries, constantly looking for inspiration.
I love that anecdote about Mads Mikkelsen being genuinely disappointed with fake liver and lungs on the Hannibal set.
It's the ultimate compliment, isn't it?
Yeah.
A testament to the realism she achieves.
And her actual creations, the edible head, the winged ham arm, they really blur the line between food and art.
They absolutely do. So when you're watching Hannibal, those unsettling food scenes, incredible artistry and detail.
And that quote, "It looks disgusting, can I taste it?"
That's perhaps the highest praise she could get. Perfectly captures that unsettling beauty she creates.
And she's versatile, too. The Tree of Life and Foundation, sugar iPhones.
Yeah, it shows how food styling can shape the visual language of a show in really unexpected ways.
Okay, from edible worlds to entirely constructed languages. This is fascinating. David and Jesse Peterson.
Ah, the Petersons. Linguistic architects, really. Dothraki for Game of Thrones, languages for The Witcher, House of the Dragon.
Some of the most iconic invented languages, right?
Definitely. But their work goes way beyond just making up sounds. They build complete, believable linguistic systems.
It sounds incredibly comprehensive. Structuring grammar, vocabulary, rules.
All of it. And crucially, they always emphasize that you have to understand the culture of the people who speak the language.
So the language itself tells a story about the society.
Absolutely. How it's structured, the words they have or don't have. It reflects their world, their customs, their social structures. It's like world building through language.
Wow. They have that Langtime Studio YouTube channel too, right? For people who want to learn more.
They do, yeah. It gives you a great peek into their intricate process.
Creating Dothraki must have been interesting because George R.R. Martin had already put some words down in the books.
Right. There was a small foundation, a few words, phrases. The Petersons took that initial spark and built this whole functional language around it.
Drawing inspiration from real languages too, like Mongolian.
So even these fantastical languages often have roots in our own world, which helps ground them.
And how do they get actors to actually speak these languages convincingly?
They have a whole system. Phonetic transcriptions, audio recordings of pronunciation, detailed word-for-word translations.
Breaking it down.
Exactly. Making it less daunting for the actors who have to bring these words to life for us.
Does the approach differ much between, say, a film and a long-running TV series?
It can, yeah. With a film, once it's done, the language work is largely finished. But with a series,
It keeps going.
it can evolve over seasons. They might need new words, new concepts. They never quite know when the job will end.
And the actors probably get better over time too.
Often they do, yeah. More proficient, more confident. They get the rhythm, the musicality of it.
The Witcher sounded like a particular challenge, with the books and the games having different language elements.
Right, navigating those different source materials, managing fan expectations.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
It sounds like you need serious perseverance and organization.
Meticulous organization, yeah. And just a constant desire to keep learning. I thought that anecdote about the font was great.
Oh, for Vampire Academy, where the font they created ended up on props.
Yeah. Even on the cruise chairs with their names, it shows how deeply these invented languages can just permeate the whole production.
That's amazing. It really highlights the impact their work has, beyond just the dialogue.
And they're very aware of the passionate fan bases these shows have. People who love the languages.
It must be cool seeing fans actually use Dothraki phrases or something.
Creates a unique connection, doesn't it, between the show and the audience?
Definitely. Okay, so what happens when the story itself isn't quite clicking? That's where someone like John Truby comes in.
Ah, the script doctor. John Truby. Highly respected story consultant, or screenplay repairman, as some call it.
And his core belief is that writing is key, right? More than anything else.
Absolutely fundamental. He believes the strength of a series lies right there, in the writing, even more than flashy visuals or big stars. So if a show feels off to you,
The problem might be structural in the script.
very possibly. His role is to diagnose and fix those fundamental flaws in story structure, pacing,
How does he do that? Break it down.
meticulously, scene by scene, pinpoints weaknesses, then suggests solutions to inject energy, strengthen the drama.
Like maybe reordering scenes.
That's a key tool, yeah.
Mhm.
Reordering things to build suspense better, maximize emotional impact. It's not just what happens, but when and how it's revealed to you, the viewer.
But he's offering guidance, not dictating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Options, perspectives. Not rewriting it for them, but helping the writer see it differently.
He has some interesting thoughts on the current state of TV, doesn't he? Maybe a bit of a stagnation.
He suggests that, yeah. After that